Okay, so today we're uh, digging into something pretty wild.
Yeah.
AI and creativity.
Definitely.
You know, we got some interesting stuff from a listener about this podcast called the AI Muse. And honestly, it kind of blew my mind. I mean, AI writing symphonies,
Right?
AI making screenplays.
Yeah.
It's like we're living in a sci-fi movie,
I know.
but it's actually happening. So
Yep.
thankfully, we've got you here, our AI expert, to like break it all down for us. So what do you think? Is AI really going to be like the next Picasso or something?
Well, I don't know about being the next Picasso exactly, but AI is definitely shaking things up in the art world,
Yeah.
and in ways we never even thought possible just a few years back. The thing is,
Yeah.
AI isn't just copying human creativity. It can actually create totally new ideas
Okay.
and new ways of expressing itself.
That's what I find so crazy. It's
Yeah.
like in the AI Muse description, they talk about these cutting-edge algorithms that end up creating these creative masterpieces.
Right.
But how does that actually work? I mean,
Yeah.
can you sort of pull back the curtain for us and explain how an algorithm
Yeah.
can actually make something beautiful or moving or even just cool?
Sure. So imagine you're trying to teach a computer how to paint.
Okay.
You show it millions and millions of pictures,
Right.
and it starts to pick up on the patterns,
Yeah.
like the colors, the shapes,
Yeah.
the textures, and learns how they all work together to make different styles.
Yeah.
That's basically what these algorithms are doing.
Okay.
But on a much more advanced level, they can go through huge amounts of creative work
Yeah.
and figure out the basic structures that make them unique.
So it's not just copying, it's actually learning and adapting,
Exactly.
kind of like a human artist.
Yeah, exactly, like a human artist would.
Okay.
And, there are actually different types of algorithms involved here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So some are what we call rule-based, which means they follow very specific instructions that are programmed by us humans.
Okay.
But the really cool stuff is happening with this thing called deep learning, where the AI actually teaches itself
Oh, wow.
by analyzing data and making connections. One example is something called generative adversarial networks, or GANs for short.
GANs. That sounds pretty intense.
It is.
How do those work?
So it's kind of like having two different AIs that are competing with each other.
Okay.
One of them, the generator, creates new content, and the other one, the discriminator, tries to figure out if it's real or if it was made by the AI.
Oh, wow.
And as they go back and forth, the generator gets better and better at creating things that look real and original.
So it's like an AI art school,
Uh-huh.
with the discriminator being like the really tough but fair professor.
Exactly. You could say that.
I like that.
And the results, they can be really amazing. We're seeing AI compose music that sounds just like Bach,
Really?
or write poems that capture specific emotions.
That's incredible. That actually makes me think about something else I found interesting in the podcast description.
Okay.
They talk about AI redefining creativity. So are we talking about brand new art forms, or is it more about like enhancing what humans can already do?
It's actually a bit of both.
Okay.
So on the one hand, AI is giving us the tools to push the limits of art forms that already exist.
Uh-huh.
Imagine a musician using AI to come up with endless versions of a melody,
Right.
or a painter using it to experiment with different color palettes.
Yeah.
It's like having a limitless creative toolkit at your disposal.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what about those completely new art forms?
Yeah.
Any examples come to mind?
Yeah, we're starting to see some pretty interesting things, like AI creating interactive art installations
Wow.
that react to the viewer's emotions.
Really?
Or even generating virtual worlds that completely break the laws of physics.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's opening up all sorts of new possibilities for artistic expression that we couldn't even dream of before.
This is all so fascinating.
Yeah.
And I bet our listener is just as hooked as I am. But as we start wrapping things up,
Yeah.
I can't help but think about something you mentioned earlier.
Oh.
The idea of AI creating masterpieces.
Right.
I mean, AI can make art that's both technically brilliant and emotionally powerful.
Yeah.
Does that change what it means for something to even be considered a masterpiece?
That's a really great question.
Does it change what it means to be creative?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah,
That's something philosophers and artists will probably be debating for years to come.
I think so too.
Maybe it's not about AI replacing human creativity.
Right.
Maybe it's more about expanding our understanding of what's actually possible.
Yeah, it's a conversation we need to be having for sure.
Definitely.
And on that note, I think we'll leave our listener with this.
Okay.
As AI keeps evolving, What role do you see it playing in your creative endeavors? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, keep exploring.
Yeah, keep exploring.
Out there in the world of AI and creativity.
It's a fascinating world.
It really is.
Yeah.
All right, until next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.